Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel, come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, hey folks, I played a video series of videos I do for the while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that at the time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm still a little under the weather, but I'm getting better. I'm not as froggy throat as I was in some of my other videos, so I apologize for the froggy throat videos. It's either that or I don't do reviews. And as much as I'm sure most of the human population would probably be like, you can just not do the reviews. Well, I'm a contrarian, damn it, and I do what I want. But anyway, whilst I'm being a contrarian, I'm also inside my truck. Whilst I'm inside my truck, I'm wearing a crappy work shirt. When both of those things coincide, typically, that doesn't form Captain Planet, but what it does mean is that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review. That's definitely the case today, and hopefully this one will help me out with said froggy throat. So what is it that I'm trying for y'all today, folks? Well, folks, it's from Dunkin. Let's see, can we get the thing off the thing? Can we get a thing? Kinda. It's from Dunkin / Baskin Robbins. Ooh, fancy like that. This is their Raspberry Watermelon Refresher. I've had a number of their refreshers in the past. I, in fact, have an entire Dunkin' Donuts playlist called Dunkin' Reviews for just the items that I've reviewed from Dunkin'. Surprisingly few donuts on there. I should remedy that at some point. But yeah, I'm clearly still working through a little bit of the stuff, still congested. And I wanted something to drink on the way home. Hopped over to Dunkin', saw that this was a new item. I figured, what the fuck, man, we'll give it a go. I'm okay with raspberry. I like watermelon more than raspberry, but let's see how they blend. All right. Ooh. I like that a bunch. Oh, and I should mention, I got it with green tea as the base. They went over there and they asked me. I have gotten plenty of refreshers in the past. Never once had they asked me what I wanted it to be based off of. But it was like either green tea, something else, or coconut milk. I forget what the other thing was, but I'm like, I don't like coconut milk. We'll do the green tea. So it's green tea as the base. That is super good. Super duper good. And here's why. Thing with raspberry by itself, not a flavor I'm super big on. It's very tart. I'm not huge into that. Like, it works well when it's blended with other stuff. And I don't know that I've ever had it blended with watermelon, but it works really well. And the thing is that they call it a raspberry watermelon refresher. And that's actually very indicative of how the flavor works. Because initially you get like this very sweet sort of raspberry flavor, which is fine. That's part of the raspberry that I like. I enjoy like the sweet berry flavor. But then just as it's about to sort of hit like that tartness, which I'm not the biggest fan of, it goes over there and it becomes watermelon. Now it's a little bit of a tart watermelon, but it's not, as abrasive as it would be if it were just straight raspberry. So it ends up actually being a very sweet and very kind of mellow drink. I like this a bunch. It's just really interesting how the flavors blend because, like I said, initially you get that raspberry, and that's what you're going with. Then after the raspberry kind of kicks down a little bit, that's when the watermelon kicks in. But there is this period where they do sort of blend together, and you get this mix of sort of the sweet raspberry and then sort of the mellow kind of watermelon flavor. That's really good. And on top of that, it's a really punchy drink. I would not know that green tea was the base of this if I hadn't been the one who told them that I wanted it to be the base of it. Because there's really not much of a tea flavor at all. It's more like a juice. Now, mind you, that could be good or bad depending on who you are. Because I will say this, I think if you're going to Dunkin' and you're getting one of these, you probably know what you're in for, but in case you don't, if you are somebody who goes to Dunkin' and you're mostly like a coffee person, this This is not an equivalent for that. If you're expecting something, I mean, it clearly isn't coffee related to begin with, but if you're expecting a more mature beverage, I guess, something that's a little bit more grown up, I guess, that's not really this. It's not exactly a kid's drink, but it's like probably a little bit closer to it than I think some people who might be going to Dunkin would be, that they would prefer. So just kind of be aware of that. Like, for me, it works perfectly because I'm a terrible fucking adult. I still enjoy sweet stuff, and, that's one of my biggest vices. It sucks, too. I don't smoke. I don't really drink. I don't do most of the bad shit. I just fucking eat garbage and stuff. And then you guys get to benefit from the show and stuff. But my doctor's like, you need to do better. I'm like, no, I do. Trying, damn it, I'm trying. I'm trying to wean myself off soda. It's a pain in the ass. No, that's really good. And the cool thing about it is, aside from being a sweet drink, aside from doing a really nice job of blending the flavors, this might be the most on point name for any Dunkin' item I think I've ever gotten, because it's a raspberry watermelon refresher. You get the raspberry first, then you get the watermelon, and yeah, it's a refreshing drink. It's super tasty. It's doing a pretty good job of going over there and helping to lubricate my wore out throat. Take that where you will. Yeah, I think I'm perfectly down with this. I would say, out of the refreshers that I have had from Dunkin', and mind you, I can't think of them all off the top of my head, I would put this up there with amongst my favorites. Probably not as much as the pineapple one that I had, because pineapple, I love pineapple. You all know I love pineapple. But I would put this surprisingly high. I figured it would be good. I did not think I would like it this much, but this is really good. And like I said, especially for me right now, because I'm dealing with this shit, this is great. Yeah. So, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes. I think for me personally, this is, like I said, it's amongst my favorite refreshers. There's no reason for me to not get it again. And as for other people, like I said, I think it entirely depends on what you're looking for and what you're expecting. If you're going to Dunkin' as a coffee person, well, obviously it's not probably going to be something that you're super into. But if you enjoy juices and fruity teas and stuff like that, it might be something to go with. Just be aware, it is on the sweeter side. So if you're a tea person where you're pinky out and that whole kind of thing, first of all, what are you doing at Dunkin'? But second of all, this isn't that. It's clearly its own thing. But if you just want a really fruity, sweet-tasting drink that's not overly sweet and does a good job of being refreshing, I think it does that really well. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, you can go there and have yourselves a truly refreshing rest of your day. Because, folks, lubricating. Because, folks, it's good that, it's good. Sometimes we have to refresh ourselves, right? I mean, both physically and mentally, maybe spiritually, depending on what you're doing. Sometimes we have to go over there, just kind of, right? Which brings me to my next point. 2 more things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing to do in the world. That's why I put try at the very beginning of that. That's very intentional, because at the end of the day, I don't care who you are. I don't care how chill you are. At the end of the day, you're going to have situations in life that are going to be frustrating and stressful, what I like to call asshole-inducing situations. And you're going to want to go over there and drop trowel, go over there and show your asshole off to the world. It's important when you run into those types of situations, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to try yourself out a Dunkin' raspberry watermelon refresher. And maybe like me, you're going to be like, you know what, that's pretty good. I like that. Maybe also like me, you're dealing with, some congestion and sore throat and stuff like that. And you're like, you know what, maybe I'll go over there and I'll drink that to help out like that, because it seemed to be helping out the guy on the YouTubes. Now, first of all, I am not a medical professional, okay? At least not in the state that I live in. You know, maybe other places under dubious names. But under my present location and name, I am not a qualified medical professional. I will not go over there and tell you that the straw or raspberry watermelon refresher thing will go over there and help cure what ails you. But I can't, by that same token, I can't tell you that it won't either. So that's you just go over there, you flip that coin. You roll the dice on that one. And if you go over there and you drink it, and it goes over there and cures your polio, and then on top of that, maybe you get some X-Man powers, great. That's fantastic. Conversely, if you go over there, if it exacerbates your polio, and you end up going over there and getting the Black Plague on top of it, well, medical science, folks, medical science. Or conversely, first of all, hopefully don't have polio. I mean, if you do, you probably can't do a lot about it. Polio is one of those son of a bitch things, and I'm sorry if that's the case. But, try to keep yourself healthy and all that good stuff. Make sure you talk to your doctor periodically and get your checkups and all that good kind of stuff. Bye.